Okay, today we are going to start topic 14. Topic 14 is all about measurements. We're going to learn both customary and metric measurements. We're going to start today with customary. Customary is going to be the units of measurements we use here in the United States. A lot of other countries use metric, but customary is kind of standard for the United States. So customary units of capacity. So your I can statement is I can choose the best measurement of capacity and convert units. So today we're going to work on choosing which one makes sense, which one of my measurements I'm going to use for which kind of situation, and then I'm going to be able to convert some units as well. Make sure you get this written down in your notebook. I will be asking to see your notes. If you have a piece of paper in front of you, please change it for a notebook. You need a notebook for math. Okay, so before we can go on, we need to know what the word capacity means. So I have the definition of it. It's a unit of measure for liquids. So let's think of some liquids that we might need to measure. Well, I know that you've been to McDonald's once or twice, so you might have gotten a soda, or you might have had some milk there. Both of these are liquid. You might also, I know that you've probably been with someone while they've been filling up their car with some gas. Gasoline is a liquid measure. You probably have seen on TV, at least, someone needs to get their oil changed in their car. Oil is a liquid. Sometimes oil comes in little cans, little cylinders, and sometimes it comes in these really big things called barrels of oil. Some other things we might measure, the coffee that's in my cup currently. Sometimes after it rains, we might measure things in a rain gauge, so we would measure rain. This is more of a scientific thing, so we might measure rain in metric system rather than customary system. So what are some labels that we might put on our measurements? Well, we have pint, quart, gallon, cup, and fluid ounces. All of these need to be written on your paper, and we're going to put some examples for each one of these. I'm going to start kind of with the biggest one, a gallon, and I know you've been to the grocery store, at least you have some of these at home, but usually we get milk in gallons. So remember that milk, if it's in a gallon, it's going to be a bigger container. Milk is sold in smaller containers, but this one is going to be the biggest. This is the Walmart Great Value, and you can see right here at the bottom it says milk 1 gallon. Next, the next smaller of our choices is quart. Within a gallon, there are 4 quarts, and we might use quarts to describe some ice cream. Now, ice cream does come in other sizes. So since you don't have the pictures, would you go ahead and write the words in here? So, but ice cream can be sold in the quart size, which you can see this one's kind of the smaller size. I've seen ice cream come in bigger containers, but this one's a quart size. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. Something else that you know that might come in a quart size would be yogurt. If you've gotten yogurt in the big containers where there's a lot and then you divide it up, that's going to come in the quart size. Ooh. All right. Let's get that smaller. All right. Like I said, since you don't have the pictures, you're going to write yogurt. Yogurt comes in a quart size. Then next one that's a little bit smaller than a quart, because there are 2 of these per quart. This would be like your typical soda that you have at McDonald's, would be about a pint. A pint is 16 ounces. My water bottle is actually 2 pints. It's actually a quart. But my coffee cup is about a pint. So you're going to put, let's put soda on here. It comes in a pint. Another thing that comes in a pint would be sometimes if you're getting like specialty milks, chocolate milks, or even cream might come in a pint. Definitely not as much as a gallon of milk, because there are 4 pints in a gallon. I'm sorry, that's not right. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. There are 8 pints in a gallon. So I'm actually going to put cream here. Comes in a pint. Our next smallest, of course, is cups, and we have like a typical coffee cup that you would get at home. My coffee cup's a little bit bigger because it's a travel one, but the ones that you might get at home. And then of course these things, cupcake liners. There's a reason why they're called cup, because they are the size of a cup. So for your line of that, we're just going to put cup and then cupcakes. And the last one we have down here at the bottom, this is a fluid ounce. 1 fluid ounce is quite small, and in fact, if you looked at a bottle of nail polish, at the bottom it says 0.5 fluid ounces, which means it's half of 1 fluid ounce. So nail polish, if you had 2 nail polish containers, they would be 1 fluid ounce. So I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to write nail polish, because there are some bigger nail polish containers. It's going to be 1 fluid ounce. For a cup, there are 8 fluid ounces per cup. Here's something else that you might know of for that fluid ounce. If you've ever taken medicine in one of these tiny little cups, you could see right here, it says FLOZ. That means 1 fluid ounce. We use this because it's liquid. We have ounces for weight as well, like babies weigh 6 ounces, or 6 pounds, 7 ounces, something like that. But this is fluid ounce because it's liquid. So I'll put that down here, and on my notebook, I'm going to write medicine. All right, on the next sheet of paper, I want you to go ahead and write a big G. Yes, notice that the G is pretty big because we got to fit some things inside of there. This G stands for gallon. So within 1 gallon, we have lots of things that make it up. We can break it into pieces. So we're going to take that G and we're going to break it into 4. So I'm going to put 4 Q's in there because the G stands for gallon and the Q stands for quarts. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. Go ahead and put 4 Q's in there because every gallon contains 4 quarts. Of course, we can break those quarts into smaller pieces. In every quart, there are 2 pints. So we put 2 P's in there for pints. And in 1 gallon, we have 8 pints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure you stop the video if you need more time getting the letters written in there. And this is really going to help us to remember how many of each item are in there. So we had 1 gallon is the same thing as 4 quarts. Is the same thing as 8 pints. And then inside each one of these pints I have C's. The C's stand for cups. So in every quart I have 2 pints, but every quart I have 4 cups. And in 1 whole gallon I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups. So we're going to use that G drawing that we just came up with to do some conversions. Conversions mean changing things from one unit of measure to another. So we're going to start with the 1 gallon. The QT at the end of this 1 gallon is the abbreviated form of quarts. So in 1 gallon, using that G up there, how many quarts are there? You should have counted 4 quarts. Now we're going to move on. This PT right here stands for pints. In pints, 1 quart equals 2 pints. Next one we have a C. C stands for cups. In 1 pint, there are 2 cups. And if you listened before, you know that this FLOZ stands for fluid ounce. And in 1 cup, there are 8 fluid ounces, and we've talked about that before. All right, our secret number, we're going to go crazy this time. Our secret number is between 0 and 100,000. So I'm giving you kind of 2 clues on this one. And the next clue is that this secret number is odd. Go ahead and get started with your assignment, and happy mathing.